Hello guys, I'm Pickles Parker and today I will be doing um a movie reaction to Thor Ragnarok. Enjoy. So yeah, you're probably wondering, why am I doing a movie reaction? Why aren't I doing a movie review? Now this movie reactions is a new series um which is sort of a short where I just explain my thoughts on new movies that I've recently been to see. Now I went to see Thor Ragnarok today, and mainly because I have to watch it again to do a full blown sort of make notes sort of review, and that may take quite a while. So I was sort of thinking, well, I need people to know that like I have seen this movie and what my thoughts are. I'm not gonna go into a cinema with like a notepad and keep on looking and writing down notes. So this is just sort of like a quick little video that I do explaining my thoughts when I've just seen the movie. Before then, in a little while later, I do a full-blown review once I've seen it again. And you're probably wondering, why am I doing audio over the top with this rather than filming myself? But it's basically just I can't be bothered, essentially. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I can't be bothered, so I'm just gonna make this an audio only sort of mini series. So anyway, for Ragnarok, the other two Thor movies, Thor and Thor: The Dark World, they're not great. Thor isn't that bad, but Thor: The Dark World is one of, if not the worst movie in the MCU. Oh. But Thor Ragnarok, it's the best Thor movie. That didn't have to take much, but I think it is very comedy based. It is a comedy, which is sometimes a problem because Thor's character has taken a major jump from when he last appeared in Age of Ultron in the last Thor movie. He was never a comedian, and they've sort of lost the serious tones, gone for a comedy. I kind of know why they did that, because let's be honest, Thor's not the most interesting Avenger. I always kind of found that, and I think there is interesting concepts to be explored, but they've always stuck to Earth. They've never gone with it. So I can see why they did that, and they tried to make him more funny, more light, which I think works. There are some moments in this movie where it's comedy and you're thinking, hold up, I'm laughing here, but this bit doesn't need to be comedic as well. You sort of know what I mean. There were some bits that they're drama and really good action sequences, but then there's just insert comedy here sort of thing where it wasn't needed. But this movie did make me laugh, I'll admit. It was quite funny. Now, from all the promotional stuff, you're probably thinking it's a big battle up against Hela, the goddess of death. It's not. That's a little subplot in the background, where most of the movie is actually on this planet called Sakaar. Now, I really like the concept for this, and it really annoyed me because it was really good, this world. It was really interesting. I was glued, and then suddenly it would cut back to Hela doing like crushing Asgard. I'm just like, no, this is just generic sort of stuff. We've seen this before. I want to go back to Sakaar. I want to watch that. I don't want to watch Hela destroying these people. So it was really annoying where it kept on jumping. The start of this movie is very runaround. The tone in this movie, they don't know what they're trying to go for. Sometimes it's serious, and then the next one it's comedy, serious, comedy, sort of thing. The tone's all over the place in this movie, which, like I said, I laughed in this movie, but the tone's definitely all over the place, and you can see that by the opening few minutes. It's straight into comedy, and it sort of wraps up everything that happened in the last four movies in an instant. So yeah, they've quickly resolved that Loki's Odin they've quickly sort of wrapped up everything. Just near throwaway line, they just mentioned how Jane Foster isn't in this movie. Just like, oh yeah, I heard you got dumped by... I'd rather they didn't even include that line and sort of just gloss over it. It's really annoying. There is one thing I really don't like about this movie. It's Doctor Strange. Why was he in it? Now, I think I was a bit worried because, my opinion in Civil War, I think that it was crammed too many heroes into it. They didn't need to be there. It was Captain America's movie. You don't need Iron Man and everything. I sort of think, is Hulk just in there because they're not confident about Thor and his own movie again? Are they just sort of like in there for the sake of it? But no, I enjoyed Hulk in this movie. He fitted into it perfectly. I'm glad he's in there. I wouldn't have had it either way. But Doctor Strange, I'd rather he wouldn't have been in it. He's in it so short, and you can see that there's no reason for him to be in there. It's annoying, to be honest. But yeah, it's a bit of a run around for the first few minutes. I really liked Sakaar. I'll probably go into this more detail when I do my full blame review. But oh my god, this is why it's a hard one to score, this movie. Because it turns every way. It's a runaround film, but I love the concepts with Sakaar, and I love Jeff Goldblum as the Grand Master. I sort of wish that the whole movie would have been based on Sakaar and they hadn't added that Heather subplot. It's kind of annoying because I just wanted to be in Sakaar, and Heather has so, well, little, I'd say, screen time really, especially with Thor, that oh yeah, she can do all this. Sure, she breaks Thor's hammer, but she doesn't live up to that. She's just your generic Marvel, as good as you are villain that we totally haven't seen before. So I was more interested on Sakaar with Grandmaster and what was going on with there. I didn't care about those subplots from us. It introduces good characters. Thor, as I've said, he's quite serious in the other movies. He's very comedy. He's sort of a jumpy character. But I much more prefer this. I don't know. Maybe he's a bit over comedy, but I enjoyed Thor in this movie. Chris Hemsworth, he's pretty good in this. And he's very funny in it. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, brilliant. Really nice. It's Hulk's best appearance in the MCU, because one of my main issues with him in the MCU is he's always portrayed as a monster. I think maybe if he has solo movies they could have adapted his character, but he's definitely got a personality in this. He speaks a lot more rather than grunting like in the other movies. Really gives you a personality, Hulk. Mark Ruffalo's very good in it as well. He doesn't feel out of place. It's incredible. I like the character of Valkyrie. She's good. Hela's good when she's on screen, but like I've said, it's just produced to another weak MCU villain. Loki's good. Tom Hiddleston as Loki is pretty good as well, and obviously I like the Grandmaster. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. I think when I say again, it may go up or go down, but I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars out of 5. Please like this video if you have enjoyed it, and if you want to see more content from my channel, then please hit subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hi, Garen Adam. So Terminus, I must confess I've never actually watched the 5th Doctor story, but I yet know quite a bit about the era. I do love that Davison title sequence. It is probably one of my favourites. I like Turlo as a companion, but I do find Nyssa a tiny bit annoying. Not much, but a bit annoying. Valentine Dial is a bit over the top as the Black Guardian. I do like that we see lots of different rooms in the TARDIS, because in the modern era we don't really see that much of the TARDIS other than the console room, so it's quite nice that we see everybody that has like different rooms. because I think that Amy and Rory were referenced to having like bedrooms, but we never actually seen them, so it's nice that we've seen some companions' bedrooms. I always find Davison a bit bland as a doctor, if I'm honest, but he still puts in a good performance nonetheless. Some of the direction isn't great by Mary Ridge. Tegan doesn't do much, but then that is the nature of the crowded TARDIS. I do quite like the concept of the plague victims. The Garm's design is a bit goofy, but has been created much better on screen than the Naimon in our last classic outing. And Nissa's exit is actually very nicely underplayed. I was going to give this a 5.5 out of 10, but because I liked how the subtlety of Nissa's exit so much, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Take care guys, see ya.